So different blends, see, nuancically, the taste will be a little different from each other. Yeah. So, for example, I am giving a blend to you. Your blend will have more of, let's say, nutty and spicy note. Yeah. But if I'm giving a blend to Aditya, that blend could be more fruity and a woody note. So these are the nuanceical differences I create. Maybe in a layman's this thing, it may not be huge, but yes, the blends are different from each other. So we don't offer one blend, uh, common blend to everybody.
Because then it will be like same product, just different
Same
name.
product, yeah. That we do in the global market. Oh, you'll be surprised to know we have 1,000 blends in our library.
Oh
1,000,
wow.
yeah,
Oh,
different blends, which is one is different from others. That's the kind of R&D that we do to make sure that, because any client who comes to me, no, he would want a product which is different. He will
yes.
himself say, "मेरे को थोड़ा I want a little
Like
different,
yeah.
थोड़ा अलग चाहिए." So we make अलग product for him. We make sure that his product is not same to what he is wanting to compete with.
And what's your favorite blend?
So yeah, when I have to drink coffee with milk, I like our Continental Extra. I think that goes very well with milk. And yeah, when I have to drink black coffee, then I like our freeze dried coffee.
And so then, what is the plan now moving forward? You're planning to launch some more flavors. I mean, coffee market is doing well. That's what I can get. Like coffee culture is picking up. Tea.
Yeah.
I mean, these things are like, as you can see, these cafe, Blue Tokai, all
Uh,
the different Indian origin also. I mean, everybody is doing quite
yeah,
fine.
absolutely. So I'll tell you a very interesting fact, and then you'll understand the coffee trend. So if you see traditionally, and I'm talking about global market, if you see the coffee is grown in between Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn, South America, parts of Africa, South India, Vietnam, Indonesia. These are the coffee growing belt, and the coffee consuming belt is above Tropic of Cancer, cold
Oh,
country, the more affluent countries. So America, Europe, Russia, they are the large coffee consumers. Yeah. So that's been the tradition. You see, Americans, Europeans, they are drinking coffee all the time, and black coffee is what they drink, and they drink coffee by the gallon. Nothing compared to what we drink. Yeah. So they are always on coffee.
and big cups.
And big cups, yeah. Morning they'll get out of home, they'll have a cup of coffee in their hands. In fact, if you see the car cup holders are designed for Americans and Europeans to hold coffee. We hold water, but
They hold
it's
coffee.
designed, yeah, वो coffee के लिए, because all the time they want coffee. So they have coffee in their cars, and then when they enter office, वो coffee पीते हैं throughout the day. So they are big coffee consuming continents and nations. But as we all know that these nations are now stagnating in terms of consumption, not only for coffee, for everything, because population is stagnating, penetration pura ho gaya abhi, और लोग, more people are not going to drink coffee. So they are stagnating. But the good part is that the emerging economies like China, India, they are next in line to drive the coffee consumption. So if you go to China again, China like India used to be a tea drinking nation. Yeah, so they also are very fast converting to coffee, because as you rightly put, there's so many chains of coffee outside. You see our youngsters now, when they go out, they rather go to a coffee outlet than anything else. There's so many cafes around us, and what happens is that a decade of consumption like this, आप कॉफी पीते हो, आप बाहर जाओगे, you'll drink coffee again after 3-4 days, again you are hanging around with your friends, so the coffee starts getting onto your tongue, into your palate.
Yeah.
And then when these youngsters, they will set their homes, they will their choice of drink will be coffee.
Coffee.
So slowly a nation will convert from tea to coffee, and
That
that's what
is.
happening in China and India. Yeah.
No, that's such a good example. I can relate to myself. I was a tea drinker and then became coffee drinker. So morning I have a coffee, then evening I'll have a tea. I'm
Ah,
supporting both segments.
I know. So that's how, and maybe over a period of time, when you really get used to it, then you because these are very sticky categories. एक बार ही
Yeah.
आपको जिसको कहते हैं ना आदत लग गई. So when
लग
you
गई
get
तो फिर
used to
तो
it, then you
you
feel
need
like
more
having
coffee.
it. Yeah, you feel like having it. यार चलो पीते हैं पीते हैं. And again, see, a lot of these categories, they start as socializing. Yeah. So let's
Hmm.
say you want to go out with a friend, you'll say चलो coffee पीते हैं. That's the That's the automatic answer. Yeah, coffee pita hai. It's or you want to call somebody at a some place to meet or something. You will
Coffee
call
pina.
them to a cafe or something. तो आप कॉफी पीने लगोगे तो कॉफी पीते पीते क्या होगा यू विल गेट यूज टू इट वंस यू गेट यूज टू इट देन द कंजम्पशन so that's a good news for the coffee market because two large countries which are probably going to drive consumption for many categories in the decades to come because next 3-4 decades they say that these two countries are going to drive the consumption, China and India, and coffee culture is catching up very fast. तो क्या होगा यहाँ पे लोग कॉफी पियेंगे. So that's how the coffee trend is. So going forward for us also, it makes a lot of sense to keep driving this culture. So therefore in India we are driving a lot of coffee ecosystems. As I was mentioning you, a lot of coffee brands we supply coffee to. Private label हम कर रहे हैं. We are also working with these chains also. You'll be surprised to know with chains like Blue Tokai, with Third Wave. So at the back end, we keep doing a lot of experiments for them, creating some great flavors, great blends for them. So we keep doing this. So our motto is that how do we drive more and more coffee consumption in India? Yeah. We really are not in so much in a hurry to say that I want to gain a lot of market share. Yes, we are doing that as well. But that's been our, the big motto that let us drive this culture. So how can I drive this culture is by doing this. So in fact, even things like cold coffee. So a lot of cold coffee makers, they buy coffee from us. Yeah. You got these choco pies, you got these coffee candies. So they all buy coffee from us. Yeah. So our thing is to how do we kind of I promote as much as coffee culture. So we kind of service all of this and do a lot of R&D for them. So for whether it is a chocolate guy, a cake guy, a choco pie guy, or a cold coffee guy, I'm doing a lot of experiment for them also. That how do I drive more and more coffee consumption? That's our motto. Because if coffee grows, we will automatically.
But I think now you don't need to derive it. It's all it's on autopilot mode. I
Yeah,
think
it's not on autopilot mode. Yeah, we keep getting a lot of queries. Can you make something for us? Can you make something else? So that's like, for example, you heard of this coffee candy called Copico. So they're largest coffee candy, and they get coffee from us. So now all the other candy guys are, "Arey, what coffee have you given to them? Maybe acha candy ek chahiye." Okay, fine, we will make it for you. We'll give good blends for you. So that, as you rightly said, एक बारी आ गया तो वो autopilot mode में. So we are now
and
keep getting queries. Yeah.
it is also a lot of caffeine is in energy drinks also. So is that a segment you also
No, we
provide
don't do
energy
because
drink?
that is ना caffeine extract को लेके फिर वो डालते हैं.
That's a separate process.
That's separate process. So that's something that we don't do right now. But yeah, otherwise any coffee requirement we end up.
So then what is the like one thing is then very clearly established. Market तो बहुत बड़ी है.
Hmm.
Trend भी है. You're in the space at the right time, right place. What is the biggest challenge?
See, I'll tell you the biggest challenge is more on and this challenge has emerged in the last 3-4 years, is more on the supply side. Yeah. So coffee is a very, in some ways, it is quite sensitive crop as well. So, and just like a lot of other agricultural crops, this also is quite sensitive. And you know how climatic changes are, driving supply chain challenges. तो वहाँ पे that's a little challenging points because क्या हो रहा है कि I don't know whether you are aware, last 2-3 years the coffee prices has been on the boil. Yeah. And cocoa prices as well. So वो काफी ऊपर है and it's not like so the coffee plantation actually takes 3.5 years or 4 years to mature. So अगर if I put a plant today, after 3.5-4 years it will start giving flowers and then the berries, cherries. So it's not like the farmers are also not to this thing too keen to plant because gestation period बहुत high है. So acreage increases. It's not like a rice or a paddy or a wheat wherein you sow today and 6 months down the line you can harvest. So the time periods are short. So therefore farmers can do that. But here there is a challenge. So unless until there is a lot of government support